Welcome, my friends. Today we're going to read Owl Moon, one of my very favorite books. The illustrations are awesome. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still as giant statues. And the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. I could hear it through the woolen cap Pa had pulled down over my ears. A farm dog answered the train, and then a second dog joined in. They sang out trains and dogs for a real long time, and when their voices faded away, it was as quiet as a dream. We walked on toward the woods, my Pa and I. Our feet crunched over the crisp snow, and little gray footprints followed us. Pa made a long shadow, but mine was short and round. I had to run after him every now and then to keep up, but my short, round shadow bumped after me. But I never called out. If you go owling, you have to be quiet. That's what Pa always says. I've been waiting to go owling with Pa for a long, long time. We reached the line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky. Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was, and I waited. He looked up as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. The moon made his face into a silver mask. Then he called, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh," the sound of a great horned owl. "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh." Again he called out, and then again. And each time, after each call, he was silent. And for a moment, we both listened. But there was no answer. Paul shrugged. I shrugged. I was not disappointed. My brothers all said, sometimes there's an owl, and sometimes there isn't. We walked on. I could feel the cold, as if someone's icy hand was palmed down on my back, and my nose and the tips of my cheeks and the tops felt cold and hot at the same time. But I never said a word. If you go owling, you have to be quiet and make your own heat. We went into the woods. The shadow were the blackest things I'd ever seen. They stained the white snow. My mouth felt furry, for the scarf over it was wet and warm. I didn't ask what kind of things hid behind the black trees. In the middle of the night, when you go owling, you have to be brave. Then we came to a clearing in the dark woods. The moon was high above us. It seemed to fit exactly over the center of the clearing, for the snow below it was whiter than the milk in a cereal bowl. Hello, my friends. Today we would love to make an owl that we saw in the book Owl Moon that I read earlier, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. It's one of my very favorite books. The artist made this fantastic illustration of this great horned owl. As you can see, we are going to use a brown paper bag for our creative owl. Yellow scraps for the eyes, a little bit of textured paper for the beak, and we should be able to make this beautiful owl with all the materials that you have at home. The main part of the body of the owl will be a brown paper lunch bag. As a matter of fact, this one's even recycled. It has holes in it from another art project that we did a year or so ago. So I just patched those up. You'll be needing crayon, black, and making some feather shapes all over the bag, even on the inside of the sides of the bag right here. The front, the back, they're kind of long ovalish shapes, and black crayon probably will be the best that will show up on this brown paper bag. Don't forget, there's a fourth side as well, so fill up all four sides. And we are going to stuff the bag to make it flat and fluffy like an owl. We will be using newspaper scraps. So wad those up gently and stuff them in the bag. The face part is a brown paper, ovalish. It does have the two ears on it of the great horned owl. They call them they're feathers, but they call them the horns. That part does get glued with the glue stick onto the bottom square part of the bag. You may cut out two round yellow eyes. These were from scraps paper, from just yellow paper, but I shared this wonderful catalog with you before. There's all kinds of yellows and different colors in here. You may use some of these. You may draw a round shape with your pencil. You would need two of them, and then cut them out carefully, and with the glue stick you glue them down. Look at this great paper I found for the beak. It's part of a tree, actually. It's just bark. And if you notice, and remember, the beak shape is kind of a triangle. Here's an owl that is all completed. The beak shape is this triangle, my friends, and very carefully I just glued that down onto the ovalish face shape. And again, that's the square part of the bottom of the bag, as you can see. If you have a brown pipe cleaner at home, my friends, you may twist that along the bottom for the legs, and also it will hold the newspapers into the bag so they won't fall out. And if you notice, my friends, I have added a few textured feathers shapes, just lines, with my black crayon. I also used a white crayon for some of the great horned owl texture on the face area, and as well as a little bit up here. With my black crayon, I added the two black pupils, the colored parts of the eye, as well as outlined the yellow area with the black crayon. And that should take care of our owl, moon, great horned stuffed owl. And the more newspaper you put into your owl, of course, the fluffier and more stuffed he will be. So until we meet again, enjoy art.